equity history specialist Walter Scheidel once stated was just at any point delivered in sorrow, at this minute. COVID-19 is moving through the world and the worldwide economy has all the earmarks of being crumbling. This, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is one of those seasons of distress, a period when our lives are overturned and loaded up with vulnerability. Be that as it may, as an ever-increasing number of individuals conform to life in isolate, we are beginning what's turning into a worldwide social examination. Thoughts that we just discussed in the prior years are being placed without hesitation on a gigantic scale. This will be troublesome time, but on the other hand it's heading off to the sparkle of some fantastic changes. Before COVID-19, just 7% of American specialists had the alternative to work from home. 1. That doesn't imply that 7% were telecommuting, it just implies that 93% of Americans were informed that it could never be an option. Today, telecommuting is a need. There are no hard measurements on what number of individuals are working remotely around the globe. However, the organization Cisco has said that, in China, their video conferencing programming has been considering 22 to be as much traffic as it did before the outbreak. 2. The world is occupied with a worldwide work-from-home investigation, and we're going to see direct exactly how practical it is. There are as of now concentrates on this, and the outcomes are extremely positive. 1 found that individuals telecommuting have 16.8 more days worth of profitability a year. 3. Those considered have consistently been out there. However, in the event that businesses see the outcomes direct for themselves, there will be no denying that letting individuals keep telecommuting after the pandemic is over won't send them out of business, and that could be mind-blowing for our life fulfillment. The normal drive to work has expanded by 20 minutes over the past decade. 4. And specialists state that those 20 minutes influence work fulfillment as much as a 19% cut in pay. 5. A couple of months prior, all-inclusive essential pay appeared to be an unrealistic fantasy. Sending each individual in a nation a month-to-month check, regardless of whether they don't go to work, was beginning to manifest on the odd battlefield. Yet in many nations, it didn't seem like anything we'd perceive whenever soon, but for the following not many months, it will be a reality. The United Kingdom has focused on paying 80% of its labourers' salaries. 6. While Denmark has offered to pay upward to 90%. 7. And even the United States is anticipating sending a $1,200 check to pretty much every grown-up American. 8. None of these plans are actually equivalent to general essential pay, yet they're close. They're going to successfully be dry trials on how these arrangements truly influence society. It's too soon to state what the outcome will be. Finland attempted general essential salary in 2017 and 2018 and reasoned that it left individuals glad yet jobless. 9. Which may be what we find in the remainder of the world also. Be that as it may, somehow, these discussions will be significantly less hypothetical when the pandemic is finished. One of the areas COVID-19 has hit the hardest is producing. Anybody working in a manufacturing plant is a fantastically predicament. Working remotely isn't a choice when you work with your hands, yet for certain plants. Nor is staying home, but for supposed lights-out manufacturing plants that are worked altogether by robots, an infection isn't even a problem. Companies that utilize more mechanization are as of now showing improvement over those that depend on packing human laborers into a firmly pressed factory. 10. And organizations are beginning to take note. Kaja Robotics, for instance, has said that they've seen a 25% expansion in requests in the previous 30 days alone. We can anticipate that a ton of assembling organizations should go to mechanization to endure, and a great deal of different organizations 2. China has just begun supplanting conveyance drivers with drones. 11. And they're revealing that they're quicker and more secure than human workers. They've even explored different avenues regarding automated hospitals. 12. Where machines take your temperature, convey your dinners, and sterilize your space to shield people from coming into contact with somebody conveying a disease. By the time this pandemic is finished, your activity could very well have been filled by a robot. Schools are closing down in about each nation that has seen a flare-up of COVID-19, and that is driving guardians into educators into a totally different time of education for the following not many months. Web-based learning will be the standard. Regardless of how technically knowledgeable your educator is, they will need to figure out how to make instruction digital, based on early responses. It's improbable that we'll see far-reaching reception of ONL.